Hi, everyone. I hope everyone can see me and everything's fine. One last test before we proceed with our live stream. I want to make sure people on Zoom, are you able to hear me? I want to understand if people on Zoom are hearing us or not. Guys, I can see you. No, okay. One moment. Hold on. Are you able to hear me now? Awesome. Okay, one last test. Lachlan, can you speak?
I hope so. Is that working?
So now, are you able to hear Lachlan?
That would
Okay,
be no,
hold on. Hold
no.
on. How about now?
All right, let me do a quick test fire.
Because
Ooh,
I can hear Lachlan. Yes. Okay, amazing. That's awesome. Okay, everyone, welcome to another live trading room here with Lachlan from Samurai Day Trading and the Trading Pit. As you can see, we have a new look. It's a bit different. We're testing it out. So, I mean, let us know what you think. We're working on new stuff. And this is very exciting. So, I'm just excited about that. Lachlan is going to guide you today during the live stream with the live trading of the European market. I'm not going to take too much of your time because I know that Lachlan did mention that there's some weird stuff going on because of Donald Trump. Okay. So I'm going to let you enjoy the live trading session and I will see you again towards the end.
perfect. So, Alan, thank you, guys. Alan is the technology guru. Now, let me set. I'm going to mute. Let me. Okay. I'm going to mute my guys. Let me mute my microphone. My speakers here, I should say, because I'm getting a microphone reverb back through. But I think we've probably fixed that now. We'll probably fix that. Which is good. So, hi everybody. Hope you're fantastic. What I'd love to know right across the board, so you can see the slides, you can see me, I can see the chat. So, I believe, guys and girls, I believe we're ready to rock and roll. First time we've used this technology. That's first time we've used it. So we'll see how we go. Hey, see how we go. I think it's going to be really exciting. So let me just grab my chat. Make sure that we are good to go. We're right across the board there. Perfect. So, guys and girls, well, let me just shrink up some windows here. I'm just making this more and more and more, more and more. I'm actually shrinking windows so I can see the 15-minute chart and the 30-minute chart. We are in the most wonderful 15-minute long on both American markets simultaneously. Absolutely stunning little trade. Excuse me. So if you do trade, guys, if you do trade the Singapore close, which we talk about almost every single day in the live trading room, if you do trade the Singapore close, as you are currently in a beautiful 15-minute long, okay, which is tracking really, really nicely. As there's no question about that at all. So let's, guys and girls, we'll get into it as quickly as we possibly can. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the live trading room. I'm going to be running the European Open today for TTP, guys, and all of the very amazing traders at Samurai out of Singapore. Now, again, why do we run live trading rooms, guys and girls? Ultimately, the 4 points down there on the bottom right-hand side. As my favorite one is immediate proof of performance. So we get an opportunity every single day to actually say, hey, here are the signals. This is why we do what we do. And at the end of the day, I do find that is a really, really exciting, not only exciting platform for education, but also a really exciting platform for people to copy the trades if they agree with them. And before we know it, we're off and racing. So further to that, I was all the way down the bottom there. The AMA asked me anything. The key point about that is I do believe that you are probably better off Guys, learning how to trade when you can ask questions immediately. I think that's always good fun. That's always good fun. So what we're going to do today, guys, we'll follow the AMA format again. Guys, what I will do, guys, as we get into the actual session, as we get into the session properly, I'll turn that camera off, guys, so we can focus 100% on the charts, and we can build from there. Now, further, we are going to run through our compliance slides as we do every week. So first and foremost, we're trading futures. What does that mean? As futures or CFDs, there is risk. That risk is amplified by the fact we trade on margin. What does margin mean? We borrow a little bit of money every time we take a trade. What does that ultimately mean? That ultimately means that we are in a situation whereby we can make money very quickly. We can also lose money very quickly. And as a result of that, we are professional risk controllers, guys, and you're going to hear that right throughout the session today. Guys, in fact, tonight we have our global hub, guys, which is our end of month trader support meeting, guys. That's on 30 minutes after the LTR today. As key point is, we're going to be talking about risk control in that session as well, which should be quite good fun. Now, that mind you, that comes perfectly inside with everything we're going to be doing today regarding risk. Now, guys, general information. Firstly, everything we do today is general information only. Past performance of all financial products now is no longer allowed to be used as an indication of future performance. And we've got this wonderful thing called a market risk factor. Guys, what is that? The market risk factor is ultimately, guys, risk that comes into what we do because we're all trading over the internet. Guys, and as a result, that can drop in or out, and we've got to be very, very careful, guys. I'll do my best to guide you as best as I possibly can, but there's no guarantee you'll be able to get in where I want you to get in or get out where I want you to get out. Now, who am I, guys and girls? Very, very brief history. My name is Lockie. I'm the head coach at Samurai. I've been literally discovered futures on the 1st of August 2007. I started professionally trading on the 1st of August 2009. Guys, I've had an opportunity to train a lot of people in the game of trading. As I say, a game of trading, for all of you that know me well, you'll know, the guys, that trading is literally a game of who can stay disciplined and patient long enough to make money. Now, our ability to make money, guys, is enhanced enormously. We'll be turning that off, Klaus. We'll be turning it off in a sec. Beck, thank you. I'll pass it on. NJ, how are you? Guys, our ability to make money is massively enhanced by the fact that we are primarily futures traders, which means we don't trade through brokers, which means there's nobody on the other side of the market to manipulate us while we trade. Now, with that said, guys and girls, I co-authored an international bestseller on basically market manipulation and wealth generation. Suffice to say, as that was in 2009, early 2010, and we are still trading futures, and it's still going very, very well. Now, guys, our Instagram is Samurai Day Trading, guys. Our YouTube is Samurai Day Trading. If you want any, any help at all, guys, info@samuraidaytrading.com. Guys, I have had a number of people, guys, contact me about the advanced trading course we're doing in Bali in November. So for those of you that want to attend that on a virtual environment, literally it's a 5-day webinar. If you want to attend, guys, you can apply for that all the way up to the 30th of October. So the actual course that is full, as in physically full, is those people that are flying into Bali and coming to say hello. The advanced online course is not full. Okay, so there was a little bit of panic out there, guys, but again, don't panic. I can run through that a little bit more in the support meeting tonight. Guys, and for those that love being affiliates, guys, we have a pretty cool little affiliate opportunity that is about to it's under development at the moment, but it's looking pretty good. So if you're an affiliate, guys, now would be a very, very smart time, guys, to reach out to Samurai. Now, as we move on, guys, the screens will be laid out as they are in front of you today. They'll be laid out as per those little purple squares over there on the right-hand side. The 4 things I'm going to focus on most importantly, guys, are the ones highlighted in red. CSA stands for candlestick analysis. The Delta V1, V2, guys, the trading on the Delta yesterday was incredible. So again, we'll focus on the Delta today. Guys, ratios and candle dominance are always huge, and ABC and step is ultimately the foundation for everything that we do. So guys and girls, we're going to jump into the charts. All right, so we're going to jump into the charts. Oh, man. The long trade I was talking about on NASDAQ and S&P 500. Guys, NASDAQ in particular. Absolutely wonderful. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, let me get rid of that. I'm going to turn the camera off. Let me see if that is easy to do. Let me just push a button here. Okay, that should take the camera away. It does. Perfect. So again, we can focus on my face. Focus on the charts as opposed to focusing on my face, because I don't want it covering up the chart, but I also don't want my facial expressions as I'm moderating to distract you. Now, first and foremost, guys, wow, look at this. Okay, absolutely brilliant. As we came into the session today, as I was talking about both of these US markets being in absolutely phenomenal longs, the FDAX has triggered an absolutely incredible 4-hour long, and that's already started to move, and the FESX is running. Now, highly likely today, guys, bottom left-hand corner, I'll bring up the S&P 500 to full screen. Guys, but 100%, guys, our bias today is initially to buy. Ash, you should be able to poor resolution and screen very... Okay, Diane, okay, good. I will pass that on. Okay, we've got low resolution. Okay, all right, let me just try and fix that. Mind you, that is beyond my technical grade. But let me just what I'm going to do, guys, while we're talking, let me just message across resolution. Okay, right. So we'll keep working, guys. We'll keep working, and we'll see if we can fix that. In the background. It is clearly a test, guys, of a new technology. Right. So again, first time through. We'll see how we go. Now, what we're doing, guys, on the S&P 500, the first things first, for those that know what they're doing, guys, if you trade the Singapore close, which for me is at 3 p.m., guys, 3 p.m. Tokyo time, so around about 42 minutes ago, guys, you've picked up an absolutely wonderful reversal long, guys, an incredible reversal long, guys, on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, and that's obviously fueling the buying, guys, on Europe as well. So today, guys, we've got a really, really strong buy bias. And the key point with the buy bias, guys, if we do get a long, or if you are already long on either the NASDAQ or the S&P 500, guys, I want you to try and hold those longs. Guys, I want you to try and hold the longs. Guys, particularly if we stay above the Asian high, guys, which is actually the subject for your coaching session, which is on tonight. Ron, it is the TTP screen, so I'll get them to turn that. Turn that up a little bit. What I'm going for, guys, at this point in time is we're going to be trying to trade the S&P 500. If you are long already, guys, we're going to be seeing how we go at this Fibonacci. The purple Fibonacci is up the top. Guys, now what I want to do, guys, is look like the buyers are failing very, very early on the 4-hour chart, but they've come back with a vengeance. So let me show you, guys. Let me show you what that means. If we do sell down, guys, guys, it is highly, highly, highly likely that we'll head to a larger chart, 38% Fibonacci, before taking off. But as it turns out, they may have already taken off on us. Right? They may have already done that. So we're just going to have to be very, very careful. I was very, very careful that we stay with our buy bias, guys, until we've got a dual market sell down. So let me just show you the 4-hour chart. I was on the S&P 500. So what we were doing, until the close of the 4 p.m. candle. The 3 p.m. candle, which is this one right here. Okay, that one right there. As we were getting ready for the close on that, we were looking at a really, really lovely kind of push down. These guys have been very heavily rejected off that. Right? So again, we're going to mark up as on the S&P 500. If we get beyond this 133, as that blue 133 fib extension, if we get beyond that 133 extension, particularly on the European Open, as we're likely to move up to here. If we move much beyond that 90% Fibonacci there, then we're going to be moving up to the 141.4. Hence our buying bias today. All right, now, if I drop down to actually, let me step up to the daily chart. Guys, on the daily chart, what have we got here? We have got, let me just double check that's the case. It is S&P 500 pushing for all-time highs. All right, so S&P 500 is pushing for all-time highs. It looks like there is a bit of a lag on the charts, right? So we will try and work out why that lag is there. This is the second test of a new software. So let's see how that rock and rolls. So at this stage, guys and girls, the all-time high. So the all-time high for the all-time high for the American S&P 500 is just above us now, as we're about to find out on the Nasdaq. Guys, it's nowhere near its all-time high. Right, so Nasdaq is nowhere near its all-time high. What does that mean? The Nasdaq has got a lot of catching up to do. But if the buyers do decide they're going to push up very, very heavily on the American markets, the Nasdaq has obviously got a lot more room to move, and therefore it could go significantly further. Now, as in terms of stair stepping on the 60-minute chart, so in terms of stair stepping, we are in a 60-minute chart static bar reversal long. Guys, for those that are coming to the hub meeting tonight, guys, the target will be 60-minute chart trading, guys, as per the guide that has been put in your members area. Guys, what does that ultimately mean? This price movement that we've got today is absolutely priceless, guys, for our little coaching session we're going to be running in the hub meeting tonight. All right, so that's the 60-minute chart as we're running, guys. I note that we're going climactic on the 60-minute chart, which means ideally we could be setting up for a lovely little reversal once the 60-minute chart closes. Guys, watch for a close either above or below that 133 extension. Well, it's dropping down to the 15-minute chart. This is where this incredible reversal occurred, guys, and these guys have absolutely flown to the high side. So for those that are looking for really, really long-range trades today, okay, really, really long-range trades, what ideally you'll be looking for is you'll be looking for a 15-minute chart and 5-minute chart in combination. For the advanced traders, guys, on the S&P 500, the Becks and the Gregs of the world, guys, anyone else that wants to pick up a really lovely trade, I want you to have a look at these static bar reversals, guys, mathematically perfect signals over there on the left-hand side of the S&P 500 15-minute chart, okay? So just keep an eye on those, because if we push up and fail badly, guys, particularly at these purple Fibonacci's, excuse me, we're looking for long range. We're looking for long range shorts. Guys, let me just hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, let me bring up the Nasdaq, who's had an incredible move. So I'll bring up the Nasdaq for you, guys. We'll go full screen. So once again, guys, the Nasdaq is in a really, really awesome little place. Guys, now, first and foremost, that little orange 133 fib extension running across the chart there, guys, it's a 4-hour buyer failure point. So the buyers had basically pushed up there a number of times, failed very badly at the 133. The moment they closed over that 133, they've bolted, guys. That looks about the majority of a 200 tick move to the high side. Please note for the Nasdaq traders, as per what we're going to be doing tonight in your coaching session, the Nasdaq is hypersensitive to the Asian high. So we're going to put this arrow right across the chart for you here. Okay, because if we were to sell down, guys, if we were to sell down and bounce off the previous pivot in the Asian high, we might be looking for a nice little sort of swing trigger long. If we do, guys, if Europe decides to sell down and basically closes, and the Nasdaq and S&P close back under the previous pivot, guys, and under the Asian high, it's very, very likely these guys might try and go and test the Asian low. All right, now, as much as I don't think this is going to occur with the information we have at this point in time, okay, the Asian low, guys, is all the way down the bottom of the jar here. Right, so that's a probably bulk 300 tick move to the downside. Let me just double check. It's actually a little bit more than that, guys. So there is the potential, guys. If these buyers fail, we could be looking for a lovely short. We don't know, guys. We don't know just yet, guys. It's all up to Europe, as it normally is in this trading session. So let me just run through some of my notes, guys, before we switch to Europe. We've got good time. So we know that the buyers were failing early on the 4-hour charts. Clearly, they have succeeded, right? So we can get rid of that one. Guys, for the S&P traders, just here, 6488 was the 4-hour buying point. So they've closed over that buying point and then shot. What that ultimately means is if we get back under 6488 for the S&P 500 traders, we're looking for pretty heavy shorts. There was an incredible fib failure, guys, on the 60-minute chart last night. Let me just show that to you, because it'll give you an idea of how accurate these Fibonacci's are. Okay, so again, I'll go to my 60-minute chart. Guys, the Fibonacci failure, for those that want to map the failure, is if you draw your Fibonacci on the 60-minute chart, from the bottom, where's my little arrow here? From the bottom to the top, Guys, on the 60-minute chart, this fall down here, guys, which occurred during the US close, this big drop, guys, actually fell down, hit the 61.8 Fibonacci absolutely perfectly before then retracing and reversing, and here we are, guys. So again, please don't lose sight, guys, of the Fibonacci's on the 60-minute charts. It's actually one of the reasons why we're doing 60-minute chart fibs tonight in our little session. Now, for the big boys, so that session I'm talking about, guys, it's I know that we've got people logging in. That is our hub meeting, guys, our global support meeting that we run, guys, on the last Thursday, the last calendar Thursday of every month, and we're about to get there, which is awesome. Okay, now European, guys, big warning for the European-based traders. Orange extension NQ. Al and I will be able to. I'm just going to have to build back. So just hold on 1 second. I'll go and get that for you. I'll do Europe and then I'll switch back. So the Euro gap close, guys, please be warned out that the FESX and the FDAX have both closed their gaps. What does that mean, guys? Typically, we're in for a volatile session. S&P 500 volume is already 45,000, now 47,000. So that's the second highest volume day we've had this week. What does that ultimately mean? Guys, we're in for probably a fairly volatile day. Was what we've got here on the FESX, which is the biggest market in the world, guys, at this point in time, not only volume-wise, but value-wise. Guys, 421 is an absolutely incredible 4-hour long. Okay, we've got 414 as a daily long, which they're already into. We've got 4-hour longs and 4-hour longs. So today, guys and girls, it's all about longs, okay? And these guys have literally flown. As soon as the data turned on, they sold down, ran into a 4-hour Fibonacci turnaround, and they're literally just bolting the other way, all right? So we have to keep an eye on that. For the FDAX traders, okay, because, in fact, let me just step back one, please. Back to the FESX. Excuse me. Because we are in multiple 4-hour longs. Okay, MJ, we'll have to fix that, mate. Okay, so we'll test the technology, guys and girls. Because we're in multiple 4-hour longs on the FESX, guys, we're basically, not only do we have a long bias everywhere, but it's going to be very, very difficult to short against this long, guys, unless we get dual market agreement. All right, so dual market agreement ultimately means that if we want to reverse the FDAX, we need to look to the FESX, and guys, NASDAQ, we're looking for the S&P 500. All right, it's highly likely, guys, if this buying doesn't stop, as it's highly likely that the FESX is just going to grind all the way up to key 4-hour Fibonacci levels. Now, the reason I've run across here, let me get rid of that. I'm going to draw a 4-hour Fibonacci down, as in order to catch them on the way back up. Okay, the reason being is that the FDAX has already gone to its 4-hour 50 fib. So the 4-hour, the FDAX 4-hour chart, guys, has already gone to the 50 fib. If we're in for a bigger move today, it's going to go significantly further. Now, guys, I've mentioned to Arlen about the screen quality, so she's working on that in the background for us. I'll keep working towards the open, and we'll see what technology, guys, we can come up with. Okay. Now, further to that, guys, we've got gaps to close on the FESX to the high side, so I wouldn't be surprised at all, guys, if we go for a gap close on the FESX. Now, that gap close is at 5,445. We're currently trading at 5,422. Guys, so I'll do some quick maths for you. Let me do some quick maths. It'll give us an idea of what the FDAX may be thinking about doing. Okay, 5,444. 88. Right, the FDAX is going to go 105.6 points. 105.6 points to the high side. Nice. So that would put us up. Guys, that would put us right up the top of the jar. Jürgen, how are you? Hope you are brilliant. Hope you are brilliant. Now, as for the FDAX, guys, we've got all of these strong buying signals all the way down the bottom. I've actually marked this strong 60-minute long. They've basically come down, retraced, triggered, and off they've gone. So what we'll have to do for the FDAX traders is be very, very careful about reversing against incredibly strong 4-hour longs. Those incredibly strong longs. All of that Fibonacci looks correct. I'm just going to go back for that pink Fibonacci on the NASDAQ. Okay, that one. Okay, perfect. So guys, I've got Alan. Alan's working on the resolution issue for us. All right, so we'll work out pretty happily what that is, and then we can roll from there. As we've got 4 minutes, 4 minutes until the gun goes. Now that NASDAQ 133 extension, guys, is off the monthly chart. So let me go full screen for you. All right, let me go full screen. Okay, I'm hunting for that Fibonacci extension. Okay, it's all the way down the bottom of the jar here. So guys, on the monthly chart, it's the ABC that switched the trend, right? So one of the most famous Fibonacci extensions, regardless of the size of the chart that you're trading, as one of the most famous extensions is the ABC that switches the trend, right? So for those that were asking, the Fibonacci, guys, is all the way down here. And as it turns out, it's honoring this Fibonacci perfectly. Okay, so great question. Great question. Just hold on one tick. Okay, so let me get ready for the guys. Let me get ready for the start. We're in about 3 minutes until the gun goes. It's around about 3 minutes until the gun goes. Let me just. We know about the Asian high, guys. We'll leave that little black arrow on for the moment. Guys, clearly the NASDAQ is the buyers own the stair step. I would suggest you guys are running out of steam on the 15-minute chart. Okay, you are definitely running out of steam on the 30-minute chart. I believe you're also climactic on the 60-minute chart. Yes, you are. Climactic right across the board. Something I do want to point out goes to the American traders in particular. The market today will effectively be directionless, if you don't mind. The reason being is, can everybody see this massive 60-minute chart candle on the NASDAQ? Yes, you've got exactly the same thing on the S&P 500. Basically, news announcement came out last night. The Federal Reserve, we spoke about this yesterday. I spoke about it yesterday, whereby the Federal Reserve was trying to contradict Donald Trump, and they're getting very, very upset at each other. As it turns out, guys, this sort of mucking around, guys, on this big 60-minute chart candle here, that was all about, once again, the Federal Reserve contradicting Donald Trump. So there's a real battle going on there, guys. If you know the politics behind that, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Suffice to say, again, Steve has just mentioned that the market is effectively directionless, and that's simply because we're stuck inside this 60-minute bar. Okay, now what does it mean? As for the trading today, all we're going to do is we're looking for dual market signals right across the board. We have got good volume, guys. We've got great volatility. We know about the Asian high. I'm going to mark, excuse me, guys. I'm going to mark the Asian high just to make it really, really obvious for us here. Hold on one sec. Guys, I'm just going to grab a sip of water. And for the FDAX, as we roll into open, guys, if we roll into open, let me just double check what these guys are doing. All right, that one. All right, my 15-minute chart, what are you doing? Okay, there is going to be an incredible Fibonacci here on the 15-minute chart that we might be able to use to our advantage. I'd suggest it's the 30-minute chart. That's not going to be very clean. That's not going to be very clean. But let's have a look. So we go from here to here to here. No, that is exceptional. Okay, that's basically caught the failure. So what we're going to do with FDAX is we're going to wait for the opening candle to go climactic. I'd suggest you certainly don't just run in on the FDAX today, guys. It's highly likely. It's highly likely to go down first, right? Highly likely to go down first. I've got the S&P 500, guys, and the NASDAQ on the wrong side of a pivot, okay, on the wrong side of the pivot in order to reverse. So just for the NASI and S&P, we'll just give it a little bit of time to work itself out. Now, for the FDAX, I'm looking for a change in color, guys, a change in color of the MDI. That's what I'm also looking for. What I'm also looking for is, guys, our classic little algorithm. Okay, we've got a larger chart Fibonacci failure here, which is brilliant. We might need a smaller little stair step. We are not FES over the R1 spot on. We've actually gapped under, MJ. We've gapped under the R1. It looks like. Okay, it looks like we might have gapped under the R1. So we're climactic now. As what we'll do is we'll just trade very, very carefully. Very, very carefully on the DAX. Very, very carefully. The markets are bought up a long way in the pre-market. We're just going to see, we're just going to see if we start getting rejected, and then we're ultimately going to try and trade that accordingly. So we'll try and trade that accordingly. What's the FESX doing? FESX is pushing back up, trying to get above its R1. Now we have got a color change, guys. We have got a color change at this stage. But the pre-top reversal, as at this stage, if you are a pre-top reversal trader, the volatility on the FDAX is very, very tight today. Guys, it's at a really, really tight range. So very, very tight range. So the FDAX traders, we might be better off. Potentially looking for an R1 reversal. Or if the FESX does fail, we might be looking for. If the FESX does fail, we might be looking for a similar style trade. Okay, so just let the FDAX run through its Fibonacci extensions. Let's just let it run through its extensions, and we'll see what these guys are planning on ultimately doing. Let's have a look here. All right, that one. Okay, well done, mate. Well done. Now, NASDAQ, guys, looks like it's going to try and turn. So the NASDAQ looks like it wants to try and turn. Well, let me just see what these guys have got. So early, guys, the early start, excuse me, on the FDAX, they're trying to push to the high side. They're trying to push up to the high side. At this stage for the FDAX traders, we're going to be very, very careful because we're in those incredibly strong 4-hour longs. Those incredibly strong 4-hour longs. Justin, yeah, they are a bit blurry today. We're trying a new technology. And we're just seeing how that technology goes. And again, if it works out well, it works out well. So we'll just keep it bopping along. I can't hear Cody. No, Cody may have turned his mic on. Hold on one sec. Cody, if you're talking to me, let me just turn my mics on a little bit. Let me just turn my mics on. Okay, I can hear you now, yes. Yes. Yep, absolutely. All right, so at this stage, what we'll do, guys and girls, we'll just let these markets do what they do. We know that we're in a very, very strong buying bias. We're going to be very, very careful about selling. Guys, very careful about selling the FDAX, guys, today until we know that the sellers are definitely interested. We know that the FESX is highly likely to try and push up here and close this gap. Guys, if it does want to close the gap, we're in for a massive move long. All right, now, speaking of long, the NASDAQ, guys, is going climactic at some very, very key Fibonacci levels. Okay, so very key Fib levels. All right, FDAX is setting up for a potential climactic reversal short. All right, so for the FDAX traders, please watch for the buyers to push a little bit or even flash in before they decide they're going to sell. I note, guys, that the FESX has not gone to the 50 fib of the day yet, which traditionally it will try and do. Nazi, guys, if you get a push up to the 76 Fibonacci's just here, if you get a push up to those 76 fibs and we do fail up there, guys, climactic reversal on FDAX looking very good at this point in time. Okay, so if we do get a push up on the NASDAQ to the 76 fibs, Guys, we would be looking to try and take a double failure reversal. I don't think they're going to get that far. Guys, climactic reversal on FDAX. If you waited for the buyers to push up and fail and then sold short outside the range of the candle, guys, that's running very, very well. Guys, very, very well. Okay, Remy, great result. Massive well done. That's a very, 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 very big candle coming here on FDAX. So if you have used the climactic reversal, guys, off the green 76 Fibonacci's that I've got on the chart there, if you have used that, guys, that's obviously going very well. Now we're in a double failure reversal short on the NASDAQ. Guys, so you can see my purple Fibonacci across the screen. Your volatility, guys, is under 60. So anybody that's short on the NASDAQ, you would be looking for a 15 to 16 tick risk control point. Right, 15 to 16 tick risk control point. Then what I'd want you to do, guys, is try and go for a 20 and a 50 tick target, but you must control your risk relatively early, guys, on the NASDAQ, please. Okay, so relatively short, guys. So short range risk control, please. So short range risk control for the NASDAQ traders. Short range risk control, long range targets, please. Okay, short range risk control, long range targets. You've got a perfect double failure reversal. Absolutely perfect double failure reversal on the NASDAQ there. Textbook perfect, guys. Textbook perfect stuff. Right, so massive well done, guys, if you've done that trade. Massive well done if you've taken that trade. Now, guys, I'm out of the climactic reversal myself on FDAX, profitable across all accounts simultaneously. So, again, I'll do my best, guys, to guide you as I can. My best as I can. Now, climactic reversal traders on FDAX, you guys are already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're at least 9, 45 points, guys. 40. Holy moly. For those that are short off the twins on NASDAQ, guys, you've controlled your risk. Your first target's 20, your second target's 50. You're just about to kiss a 50 tick target now. So despite a little technology challenge, guys, we can still read the markets. S&P 500, you have a double failure reversal off the 88.6 as well. A massive well done to you guys. Have I got anybody short on the FDAX for long range targets, please? If you are short on the FDAX, guys, I want you to target 170, please, which is about a 70-point trade. It's about 2,800 Aussie dollars per contract. So if you are short, Nathan, guys, we have royalty in the house today. the big man himself. Hello, mate. I hope you are amazing. NASDAQ traders who are short, guys, please, please, please stretch your targets out as far as you can. You're going for 20s and 50s or 20s and 100s. Guys, don't get into the short again, please, because we're in the last 90 seconds. Remy, well done. Nice work. Mark, you got skipped. Okay. Perfect. That's all right. You guys can push, if you've got a delta, you can push market order sell, guys, so you won't get skipped. All right, so really important point. You won't get skipped if you do that. Okay, now, what have we got? Guys, technically perfect double failure reversal, guys, on both US markets simultaneously. So I hope, guys, because S&P 500 had extreme 30-minute volume leading in. Guys, there's your extreme volume. I want the S&P traders short for as long as you possibly can, please. Okay, now NASDAQ. If you close under the gap, guys, it's going to be a very ugly ratio static bar reversal short. We're going to have to look at your counter Fibonacci, which looks like this. And again, if we were to close, guys, down here, it is, now that's a very ugly ratio. Right, so at this stage, guys, we don't want to go short again on the NASDAQ. Okay, if you are short, you're going to stay short. FDAX, you're picking up an incredible short. Do I have it? Oh, Nathan is short. Guys, Nathan is short, guys. I trust a climactic reversal, Nathan, off that pink 66, guys, or just above, guys. You got the green 76.8. If you guys are short on that, again, I would try and hold the FDAX short now, guys. I'd try and hold it short down to around about the previous pivot and try and hold it as short as you possibly can. Nathan, well done. That is an absolute monster trade. Well, massive well done. Now, I'm profitable on that trade as well. Not as profitable as Nathan, again, but I've got a couple of things going on today, as you can probably imagine. Now, it is a valid, as it is a valid short on the FDAX to the downside. The deal with the valid short is the actual candle itself has got too much risk. Right? So the candle's got too much risk. What does it ultimately mean? Sellers own the stair step on FDAX as well. Right? So if we were to actually close back above the 50 of the day, it's going to be, thank you, mate. It's going to be a reversal long on FDAX. At this point in time, though, we've got no ability to go long. Therefore, the short traders are basically staying short, guys, to try and get the biggest target they can. Now, for the NASDAQ traders, if we push up back above the gap, guys, if we push up back above the gap or anywhere near the gap, we want to try and pick up a gap-based reversal. To do that, we need to get rid of this Fibonacci here. We need to get rid of that Fibonacci. We are going to have to put a Fibonacci over the turning candle. Okay, I've got to put a Fibonacci over the turning candle like this. Okay, we need these guys to retrace. Guys, hit one of these key Fibonaccis and get very heavily rejected. For the S&P traders with your volatility, guys, your targets today are 4, 8, and 12. So you've gone 4, 8, and 11, which means you guys have controlled your risk on your long-range shorts as well. Okay, so again, you've gone through your 4-tick target, your 8-tick target, and again, you didn't get to your 12, but guys, I would have certainly cut my risk off on that one. Okay, so again, but the S&P traders know what they're doing. Now, guys, this rejection is exactly what we're looking for on the NASDAQ. Okay, exactly what we're looking for. We don't have a higher high on the NASDAQ. So the gap-based reversal here, guys, is a slightly more aggressive trade than what a number of people would take. You could pity back off these little V1 deltas that are hiding behind that candle there, guys and girls, if you want to. If you are going to take the deltas, do remember, guys, you've got a 10-tick risk control point and a 20-tick target with this volatility. So if you are pity backing off those deltas in the background, guys, even the high one there underneath the gap, they've already gone 10 ticks to the downside. So even if you're going for a 20-tick target, your 10-tick risk control point has triggered, meaning you've got no risk on the short. Guys, this is complete money for jam. If they come back up, you can't lose money. Guys, just like that. Ideally for the NASDAQ, we'd be looking for a higher high, guys, and then a reversal under the gap if we're going to get a more powerful reversal. Okay. Now, for the American-based traders first, guys, if the S&P 500 closes over these key purple Fibonacci levels, guys, we can't go short off the purples again because we're getting very close to the last 90 seconds of the candle. If they close over these key Fibonacci levels here, we're going a long way to the high side, If we get caught underneath those, then we get a higher high, we might be looking at another reversal. Okay, now for the FDAX traders, we're going to keep a very close eye on the FESX. What have they done? At the moment, we're getting almost ready for the OSR establishment. Let me double check that to be the case. That is correct. So for the OSR-based traders, you're going to pick up a static bar reversal long on the FDAX. Now, this is in at least 60 seconds from now. If you want to trade an OSR-style trade, you're looking for the next candle to open. You're looking for the sellers to retrace down towards the 50 fib and the OSR, fail, turn around, come back the other way and pick up the SPR long. Okay, now I hope I'm making that instruction as clear as possible. The push retrace on that, guys, would have to be phenomenal. If the FESX, okay, bottom right-hand corner, guys, if they get stuck under their pre-top, the long on the FDAX is not looking as good. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on that. Just watch that S&P 500 for the NASDAQ traders as well. Craig, I want the FESX to buy the FDAX. I want the FESX to close over the pre-top. Okay, I want it to close over the pre-top. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. If I don't get that, mate, that's okay. We're only 15 minutes into the session. Everybody should be profitable. Everybody should be profitable. Now, guys, on the DAX, I've only made 5 points today. So 5 points across all accounts. So I'm at my lower KPI. What have we got? FESX is closed on and gapped on the pre-top. So you can take an OSR style trade, guys, on the FDAX. Right? You can take the OSR style trade. What you're looking for is the sellers to push down towards the OSR, fail quickly and get very heavily rejected, and then you're looking at the static bar reversal entry long. Just be aware you don't have the FESX in support of your trade. All right, so this is the FDAX going by itself. I see they've retraced down and tagged the 50 fib. You could have very happily entered just over the top of the 50 fib, trying to push it back to the OSR, so the static bar reversal entry point. As if you have done that, absolutely fantastic. If you have done that, fantastic. Just hold on one sec. Maybe you need to move that stop loss out of the way. Up, yep. Okay. Now, for the Nasdaq traders, we were looking for a higher high in order to reverse underneath the gap, right? So for those that are waiting for a higher high, right, you've got your higher high that's just occurred. All right. Now, if we do get a sell down here, I can't give you a new signal because I can't send you long assuming you close over a gap. Right? If the S&P 500 shows any love over the top of these larger Fibonacci's here towards the end of this candle, the Nasdaq may go up. At this point in time, if the S&P 500 fails at yesterday's high, guys, we could be looking at a really nice short. All right, now, at this point in time, guys, I strongly encourage you on the Nasdaq, as if you're going to trade the delta, guys, only enter the delta trade once. Please have an ATM that reduces your risk. It may be touch 8, pay something, or touch 8, break even or something. Because if it doesn't run in your favor, as it means that the bigger traders globally might have another idea. Okay, now, for the FDAX traders, at this stage, we spoke about you don't have the support of the FESX, right? You don't have the support of the FESX. For the NASI traders and the S&P traders, I would suggest we are waiting for the close of this particular S&P 500 candle to see what these guys are going to do. At the moment, it looks like the buyers have lost control of both American markets. Now, again, what does that ultimately mean? If these guys get pushed down like they're getting pushed down now, some of you will have seen this push to the 76 Fibonacci of the turning candle and said, Lockie, they're failing at exactly where we thought they're going to fail. I might send them short. As there will be some short traders in the world sitting underneath this candle because that's where all the buyers' stop losses are going to be sitting. For the junior traders, you're better off waiting for these candles to close. You're better off waiting for the candles to close and then making a decision, slightly more institutional level decision, when other traders and robots around the world are going to be making the decision. If the Nasdaq closes over the top of the gap, guys, we can't go short. Okay, if it closes under the gap, we are looking for a short. What we have to be aware of on the Nasdaq, guys, let me just get rid of that Fibonacci and I'll turn you back around the other way. I'm going to draw a Fibonacci up over the micro trend, which looks like this. Okay, if these guys do want to get a wriggle on to the downside, the first port of call is going to be these 76 fibs. All right, so what that means is if anybody is short on these deltas just here, once again, guys, you're looking for a 10-tick target, please. All right, please don't be greedy on this. The 76 fib down here is at least 25 ticks away from your entry, at least 25 ticks away. If the Nasdaq turns at this point in time, you're in a good place. If it turns at this point in time, if it doesn't turn, guys, and the S&P gets over the top of these purple Fibonacci's here, and the Nasdaq gets over the gap, they're going to be buying. Okay, so just be very, very aware if you're short on these deltas. As I would make sure that you have either controlled your risk or you've cut your risk costs or you've already gone through your target if you use a 10-tick target. Okay. Now, for the FDAX traders, you're about to pick up an absolutely incredible ratio-based static bar reversal long. As if you have gone long off the 50 of the day, sellers own the stair step, you're looking for buying-based reversals. Awesome. You're 12 seconds away from potentially picking up a really lovely reversal to the high side. As what you would need is the FESX to close over the pre-top, please. Okay, which it has done. So FDAX traders, you are now looking for a long. As I would like to see the sellers show first, and then we buy the market. Now, if they don't give us that opportunity, guys and girls, or if you're already in on that static bar reversal, It's got an incredible rating of -8. If you are already long on that, as you're looking for an entry at 83 and a first target of 88. So entry of 3, target of 8. As you're at your target already. So young, who was it before, guys? It was young Craig. He was saying, Lockie, do I wait for the close over the pre-top and then go? Guys, look at the response. FESX is closed over the pre-top. Now you've got permission to trade the FDAX, and look at what it's done. It's just gone straight through its targets. Okay, so if you are long on the FDAX on a ratio-based static bar reversal with an incredible 8 rating, that is hilarious. That's just hilarious. Now, what does it mean is anybody that's short from our original climactic reversal up here, because that is a reversal short, guys, you've picked up a reversal long, that's a counter signal. We would want to make sure we're out of our long range shorts. Suzanne, that is a ratio based trade, as we've discussed multiple times. Okay, now, guys, we're doing our best. Guys, we're doing our best today. We've got a little bit of a technology challenge, but that is actually very, very easy to solve. For the DAXI traders, are going to keep a very close eye on the FESX and its OSR. The reason being is if they close outside their OSR to the high side, they're probably going to push up to at least this 150 up here, guys, at least the 150. Remy met KPI, well done. Guys, I'm already at my lowest KPI, which is only $145 per account, guys, times 4 accounts. So I'm at that already. I'm focusing more today on running the LTR and checking this new technology as opposed to executing a ridiculous number of trades. I've been profitable every day this week so far. As in cross fingers, Cody is back tomorrow. So hopefully I get a really good... I'm hoping we get a really big day Friday and I can have an absolute blinder. Now, for the American-based traders, both NASDAQ and S&P, guys, if we close over the top of these purple Fibonacci's here, you guys know categorically if we get over yesterday's high, then we are certainly not going to be selling the NASDAQ down, guys, because the S&P 500 doesn't agree. Cody's back in Bali. Man, it looks like you had an amazing trip, though. You had an amazing trip. Yeah. So some people would say it's not that unfortunate, mate, that you're in Bali. It sounds like a pretty good spot. Right, now, now, guys, for the aggressive FDAX traders, I'm looking now. We're approaching the last 90 seconds, so I want you to be careful. As at the moment, the sellers own the stair step, so we're looking for buying-based reversals only. You guys have picked up an incredible -8 rated SBR to the high side. That's obviously gone very well for those people that trade that. Some of you may have traded the reversal off the 50 fib, understanding the stair stepping principle. If you've done that, then you've also gone through your targets, which is very exciting. Now, the aggressive FDAX traders, guys, if the FESX gets held underneath its upper OSR, so bottom right-hand corner, if the FDAX gets held under its pre-top, okay, in 1 minute and 9 seconds, if the buyers then push up a little bit and fail, we're going to go short. It goes in 1 minute and 5 seconds. We're going to go short on that delta at 24199, provided all of those caveats are met. The reason we're being careful, the reason we're being really, really careful as on the actual FDAX is because the FESX is in charge today. If it closes over the top of that upper OSR, then we are not going to short the FDAX against an angry FESX. I used to run the European Open live trading room, guys, on the NASDAQ and the FDAX without the FESX, and it was an absolute shocker, guys. This is early 2009. The moment we realized that the FESX is actually completely in charge of all of the American and European markets, guys, in this time slot, this is late 2009, early 2010, our success rate skyrocketed the moment we knew about this FESX. All right, so let them come in, guys. This looks like we've got an upper OSR close coming here. Let's just see what they do. They might gap back down. S&P, you're looking for a double failure reversal off yesterday's high. Okay, at this stage, FDAX, that delta, man, the only way you can trade that delta short, is if the FDAX pushes through, creates a higher high, and fails at Fibonacci. Guys, let me give you a Fibonacci to think of. This is over the top, guys, over the top of its OSR. Okay, that delta, guys, I don't have a higher high, so please be very selective on that FDAX trade. If I got a higher high and they got absolutely walloped, I'm looking for the delta short at 199. They're probably going to run without us. FESX, you're making my day very difficult. If you are short on the FDAX, guys, if you're short on the FDAX at 199, your first target is 194. You're obviously through that target already. For those that like FESX agreement, you didn't have that agreement. For those that like double failures at pivots, you did have enough evidence to potentially go short. So there will be some, guys, there will be a bit of a mixed bag on that one. It's either positive or I didn't trade. And then we rock and roll from there. Now, for the purists on the FDAX, at the moment, we've got the sellers owning the stair step. We're looking for buying base reversals only. We can't buy into a pivot. We're not allowed to, so we can only sell. If the FESX gets pushed back inside its OSR, guys, in 3 minutes and 24 seconds and then stays in it, we're looking for reversals everywhere. Okay, looking for reversals everywhere. Guys, we're navigating as carefully as we can today. And again, for the Nazi guys, you've got tight targets, tight risk control, all long-range targets, but tight risk control, please. Okay, S&P 500, we're looking for a double failure reversal of yesterday's high. As if we did on the S&P, if we did get a 4-point turning bar short on S&P, okay, it's going to be right on the 30-minute chart close. Let me just double check. These 30-minute chart traders are actually quite strong. All right, there's our little tip, the 15-minute chart trade. So what we're going to get here, guys, for the S&P and NASDAQ, let's have a quick look. For the S&P and NASDAQ, if we were, the S&P 500 is so clean. The NASDAQ is not. All right, so as like we do with you in this session or every day, guys and girls, it looks like the S&P is going to lead the NASDAQ. So S&P will lead the NASDAQ. 2 minutes to go. Guys, we're watching very, very closely. If the S&P 500 closes over yesterday's high, then we are looking to go long. We can't go short. We can't go short, but again, a lot happens in sort of 90 or so seconds. For the FDAX at this stage, Nathan's long range short looks like, Nathan, I would love to know how you went on that. It went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 65, 70. So I reckon, Nath, you might have ended up with a 6, 11, 21 and a 50 or something. Guys, if Nathan is still with us and you've gone short on that one, that's an incredible climactic reversal. That's incredible trade. And for those that are fans of Fibonacci, those of you which I'm a massive fan of Fibs, let's have a quick look what they might have actually done. If we run a Fibonacci extension up this candle and back down to the retrace, look at that failure point. Right, if you're into Fibonacci, have a look at this. So the most recent stair step leading into the actual move itself, and have a look at that 200% Fib extension failure. And on that red candle, it's to the tick. So if it's just incredible, just incredible. And I wouldn't be surprised. So, Shelton, in terms of success rate, if you've got a really good drop-in ratio and it's off a known psychological area and you get a nice retrace and rejection, the body entry or just 1 point outside the body, because many people, if you understand how trench warfare works, so the body of the candle is a trench. It's not quite as strong as the top or the bottom of the candle, but it is a trench as well. So if you enter 1 point outside the trench, you'll be starting to enter into other people's stop losses, which is exactly why the signal works so well. So Shelton, I wouldn't be surprised at all, mate. Probably a 90.5, 90.6% strike rate. Something along those lines. All right, now, 30-minute closes. Guys, what have we got? We've got we've got a very, very strong, and we've got a very strong NASDAQ 30-minute close, but it's straight into Fibonacci. And we got the S&P failing at yesterday's high. So what that ultimately means for the NASDAQ traders, let me switch my Fibonacci around. Only for the 76 Fibonacci traders, if that's what you normally do, your Fibonacci is not going to look like that, guys. It's going to look like this. That is a dominant candle. There's no micro trend there. Okay, now that 76 is perfectly positioned. So if you draw Fibonacci like I do, guys, this big green candle here is actually the micro trend in its own right. You've got this 76 failure point just here. You've got the S&P also failing at a pivot. So if you guys, if you follow the stair-step principle, as buyers on the stair-step, they've come up here, they've failed at what looks to be the 76 Fibonacci's of the micro trend. These guys are now starting to sell down quite nicely. Your volatility, guys, on NASDAQ is dropping quickly. So therefore, so should your risk control point. Okay, so should your risk control point. If anybody is short, guys, on the NASDAQ, guys, off those 76 Fibonacci's, right? If you are short off those 76 Fibonacci's, then you are well beyond, as you are well beyond your first target, guys, and you're well on your way to your second target. Okay, now the flip side of that, as the sell down on NASDAQ is being caused by the S&P 500's failure at yesterday's high. I might have some S&P 500 traders that are short off yesterday's high as a triple failure. If you are short, guys, the test of whether this is going to go a long way is whether we can actually crack that SBR on the S&P 500. 70 points in the bag, KPI. Well done, mate. You're Shelton. So, guys, if you are over KPI anywhere, I encourage you to be very, very careful about what you're trading. If you are short underneath those 76 fibs, guys, on NASDAQ, I should say, as a relatively advanced trader, then from your entry point, you've already gone at least 30 ticks to the downside. So do not just push the button to try and sell. As you would have had to put that Fibonacci on a little bit earlier than I did. You would have had to see the buyers push up. We know they own the stair step. The moment they push towards those 76 fibs, you would have simply sold underneath them and ran it back down. Okay, now that means, guys and girls, don't short under those 76s now when they cruise up here. You would need the buyers on the NASDAQ to push through, create an even higher high and get absolutely walloped in order to go short. Or you might be looking for a red diamond delta short on the NASDAQ, as that may occur if the S&P gets anywhere near triggering that little static bar reversal down here on the S&P 500. FDAX, if you're an aggressive trader, that delta is valid short at 185. The reason I say aggressive is you're selling short with a selling step. Now, looking at what the FESX is about to do, if it closes inside its OSR, if you are short on the FDAX, guys, at 185, your target is 180. Nice. If you're short at 185, your target is 180. You've just kissed your target. If you are a delta trader short on the FDAX, as you're going to smash, right there you go, you smashed your delta target. Why, guys, am I allowing you to go short with a short bias? With a long bias, is because the FESX, have a look at the size of the current FESX candle, as it was at 1.6 times the size of the previous candle. All right, so for the DAX traders with a 20-point PVI, if you're short at 185, your first target is 180. You've gone through that target on that delta if you're happy with that trade. Now, if we get a 4-point turning bar short, guys, on the FESX, which is mathematically possible, but just mathematically possible, then we're probably going to find everything as a crack at shorting. Guys, my suggested KPIs on the FDAX are when you first start, 5 points. When you've got a bit of experience, 10. When you're starting to get some traction, 15. 20 points per day on the FDAX is a complete life changer. If you can do 20 points a day on the FDAX, you are literally looking at a retirement, and it's a very, very sexy retirement, because you can do that 20 points across 4 or 5 accounts, and that's 100 point per day equivalent. So MJ, if you're over 20 points, which you're almost double 20 points, may I suggest you might need a bigger KPI. Might need a bigger KPI, which is a really good conversation to be having, guys. Really great conversation, which is exciting. So everybody, guys, everybody everywhere should be green. We should be green at this point in time. We may be setting up for turn of the hour trades. FDAX, the only thing stopping us from absolutely nailing the FDAX again is the fact that the sellers own the stair step and we're selling with the sellers. So it runs at about an 82% strike rate versus 92% strike rate. But if you've already gone short at 185, you're already being paid at 180. As if I got the buyers to push up back towards the pre-bottom and give us a higher high, we'd be selling all of these sellers again. If you're a little bit aggressive, guys, you can take the delta at 185 for 180. Mathematically perfect trade. The only reason I'm saying aggressive is because you're selling with a selling bias. And we don't normally do that. We sell against a buying bias and vice versa. Okay. So FDAX at this stage, you should be sitting on at least 4 profitable trades, if not more than that. If you're short at 185, guys, on FDAX, your target's 180. You've gone through the target again. So FDAX, you should be now sitting, depending on how you trade, at least 5 trades, at least 5 profits. All right, you've had your climactic reversal for those that trade the climactic reversal. You've had the ratio-based SBR that Craig and MJ nailed. And you may have had the opportunity to take that delta at least once. Suzanne, for those guys, Suzanne's on her way to Bali to do platinum. Suzanne, note the ratio of the little green candle leading into the generation of the deltas. So ratio, guys, works both ways. Right? More than happy to run through it, guys. More than happy to run through it a little bit later on. Speaking of that, guys and girls, okay, for the Samurai members, guys, you have a masterclass series coming in October. Guys, you have a masterclass series coming in October. So we'll warn you out about that. There'll be at least 2 masterclasses, guys, to bring you guys up to speed on how to use the new indicators. All right, so for any Samurai traders out there, those masterclasses are definitely in October and they definitely should not be missed under any circumstances. Craig, you've got 30 points on the FDAX for the day. Oh, wow. Okay, we are looking, guys. We're still looking for evidence of sellers. If we get a red diamond delta on NASDAQ, it's incredible. NASDAQ, that is a valid static bar reversal short on NASDAQ. The only thing you've got to pay into attention, guys, the reason I'm a little bit late coming across here is you're assuming a close over a 50 fib of the micro trend. If you get a V2 delta short here, as these guys are likely to rock and roll, you have got a gap, guys. You have got a gap that's hiding in here. The S&P 500 traders that are short off yesterday's high, well done. If you're short off this static bar reversal here, we spoke about 10 or so minutes ago. Guys, if you're short under the S&P 500, your targets with your volatility dropping, guys, your targets are 4 ticks, 8 ticks, and whatever you can get your hands on. At this stage, if you're short on the S&P, guys, your 3 or 4 tick target, your 6 ticks towards your 8 tick target, I'd suggest you'll probably get paid in this candle. These sellers are really strong. There's the black diamond delta, guys, on NASDAQ. Now, for the Nasdaq traders, you're in a static bar reversal short. That has set the momentum for a potential sell down. If you are on that black diamond delta, the red diamond delta, guys, on NASDAQ, because your volatility is dropping, okay, please use a 10 tick target. That's a really important point. It's a momentum style trade. What you're going to have to be careful of is if I switch my Fibonacci's back the other way, so there's nothing wrong with the delta. It's mathematically amazing. What you've got to be careful of is the counter Fibonacci. Right? The counter fib runs from there to there. Okay, so your 76 fibs are down here. So that is beyond your target zone if you are short. your volatility, guys and girls, on NASDAQ is calling for a 10-tick target. Okay, now I'm pretty confident, being a mathematician, that the 10 ticks is going to be wasted really quickly. Boom. Did anyone see that? Did anyone see that? I said it's going to go pretty quickly, and whack. Anyway, I'll tell you about that later. So anyone that's short on the delta on NASDAQ, you've just obliterated your 10-tick target. That trade is finished, guys. That trade is finished. Now, for those that are going for longer range targets, because there will be some of you going for longer range targets, as you can try and push down to at least this 61.8 Fibonacci, right? At least that there. But we've got to be careful that we've controlled our risk, please. And Craig, you've I wish the markets did that every day. I think that was about a 3-second delay between, I think these guys are going to push and then boom. Okay, so a little bit of maths going on, guys, a little bit of maths going on in the background. That's what's going on. So if you're short on the delta, guys, you've absolutely obliterated your 10-tick target, which is very exciting. We've got to be careful of these 76s. So at the moment, guys and girls, the sellers own the stair step on the NASDAQ as well. So we're looking for a really deep sell down here. If the sell down's maintained, fantastic. If it's not, we're looking for reversals long. Hey, Lorna. Yeah, no, that was the NASDAQ made that very easy, Lorna. So I did some maths. I was cheating. I was cheating in the background. Now, what do you mean cheating? What do you mean cheating, guys? This candle here's got a 12 strength rating on it. Right? See this 12? Anything over 3 or 4, guys, anything over 3 or 4, if it produces a delta towards the lower of the candle, it's just going to go amazingly well. Okay. So yes, Lorna, I'm cheating with my indicators. But they are designed to let everybody do the same thing, Lorna. It's just a matter of practice. That's all it is. All right, anybody short, guys? Anybody short on the triple failure here at yesterday's high on the S&P? Guys, your targets were 4s, 8s, 12s or 4s, 8s, and whatever you can get. You've done that. If you're short on the SPR, guys, you've touched your 8-tick target, which means you've controlled your risk. You've controlled your risk and you're done on the trade. Okay, very important, guys, on NASDAQ today is your volatility drops. You're literally just looking for 10-tick targets, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. Guys, we're probably going to get a turn of the hour trade, which will call for a longer range target. At this stage, we don't have larger chart agreement to go for longer range targets. A ghost order, just go to your control center, Sim or Live, the ghost order. So if it's a ghost order in live, okay, you fixed it? Okay, great. So guys, if you've got a ghost order in Sim, just basically cancel it on your Ninja Control Center. If it's a ghost order live and you're trading with Tradeovate, you'd have to actually log into Tradeovate and cancel it in there, or you might be trading through Rhythmic, you'd have to do the same thing. Perfect. Okay. So quick synopsis, guys. We're just coming into our last 15 minutes. The sellers own the stair step still, guys, on the FDAX. So we're looking for a buying base reversal. We're not looking to go long in the last 90 seconds of the candle. Guys, we're not going long. So we're just going to wait for this candle to close here on the FDAX. Trade of the day, guys, on FDAX was the ratio-based static bar reversal when we said, let's wait for the FESX to give us permission to trade. Note the market's response, guys, was basically a 25-point candle. All right, so if the market responds to your signal set like that, when you say, if it does this, we're going to do that, as you know, your signal set is, your signal set's looking pretty good. Okay, now, that is a monster, guys. It's a monster selling candle on the NASDAQ. They're not going anywhere with the sell at this stage. We are rolling into the last 15 minutes. Our volatility is dropping. Our volume is dropping. Guys, we're still okay volume-wise, but we've just got to keep an eye on it as we roll into the turn of the hour. At this stage, the turn of the hour trades, guys, are probably going to be shorts. FDAX, we cannot go long through the 50 fib of the day. This is why we don't trigger trades in the last 90 seconds of the candle. This is why we don't do that. But FDAX, you guys should be sitting at least 3 trades, maybe 4, maybe 5. Okay, depending on how you ultimately trade. And I think Nathan might have run away early, guys, but that reversal, normally Nathan will go for 6s, 11s, 21s, and whatever he can get his hands on. He's probably ended up with 6, 11, 21, and maybe a 50, guys, which is a big trade. Well, that's a really, really amazing trade. Guys, and while we're talking about it, Fibonacci, look at where they've gone to. They've gone to the 76.8 Fibonacci off the 4-hour chart, to the tick. To the tick, sorry. They've gone 2 points over it, then reversed. And we came into the session today saying we're in a 4-hour chart trade, therefore we're going to have to keep an eye on 4-hour Fibonacci's. And where have they gone to? 4-hour Fibonacci's. And then produced an enormous reversal, which is really exciting, guys. Okay, but that's the delta I made my money on right there, that red diamond delta. Okay, that one there. So therefore, as the indicators are doing us some pretty heavy favors. All right, so sellers own the stair step. Let's just see what we're doing. We're navigating to the last 15 minutes. I would really love both American markets. I'd love them to buy back up again and fail badly. Okay, what I would love to do is I'd love to trade the NASDAQ short. Okay, not now. Okay, oops, that's not what I want. As if we can get on the NASDAQ, if we can get anywhere near the bottom of that candle there, okay, so you've actually got a beautiful, so 23595. As if we can get, is Nathan still with us, is he? Might have actually run away. If we can get anywhere near 23595, the NASDAQ is going to, because we've got you see this mustard green candle here, we've got a climactic reversal that's set. If they can come back down to that level, they're going to bolt to the downside. They're going to bolt. And it's actually going to be really good fun to watch. So that's my goal, guys. It's my goal to get down there. We just need a valid signal. Okay, there's the equivalent on the 595. It's the same number. It's 595. So, and look what we're setting up here, guys, on the 60-minute chart. Look at this. Look at, oh dear. No, look at this Fibonacci failure. Look at this. So we are short, guys. It would be amazing if these guys buy again, so we can jump in a sell, or we're going to get an efficient CORPC sell bar on both American markets, and then we're going to try and trade the NASDAQ down to 595, okay, which is here. If we get anywhere near 595, just double checking, 100%. If we get below 595, we're going to get a really, really lovely sell. Okay, and I would suggest they're going straight back to the Asian high. All right, that's where they're probably going to go. Little FDAX, what are you doing? Just bopping along at this point in time. So I'll just let them do what they're doing. So we are, guys, for the FDAX traders, we're about to pick up a really lovely trade. Now, we are in the last 15 minutes, so it will be a turn of the hour scenario. Yeah, what I want is the FESX, Craig, I want the FESX to buy back above its pre-top. Back above its pre-top. And then don't you run without us, FDAX. Come on. No, don't you run without us, please. I don't want the guys. I don't want the markets to reverse a long way before the pre-market. It's Okay, that one, that one. All right, let's double checking guys in the background here. Okay, all right. Okay, now, alrighty, let's see what we've got, guys. Let's see what we've got now. FDAX. Holy moly. We've got ratio-based static bar reversals long right at the time I'm not allowed to trade them. Look at that cluster of black diamond deltas. It's doing that to try and romance us into breaking our rules. But mathematically, these are incredible. We're right, though, in that last 15 minutes where we normally don't take trades. All right, so we've got to be a little bit careful with this one. For the American markets, again, the key will be is about your 30-minute close. All right, so if the 30-minute close is above that 90%, now 30-minute close is around about 8 minutes away. If we get above that 90%, then we get above yesterday's high, then again, our turn of the hour trades are not going to be shorts, guys, they're going to be longs. FDAX, do not go without us, please. Oh dear. That's the first time, guys. That's actually the first time today. No, first time today. Something mathematically, it's incredible. Guys. But can everybody see you got a triple cluster? 1, 2, 3, triple cluster of deltas all triggering at the same time. That means a large amount of institutional traders have literally said, you can't get below the OSR. Well done. We're now just going to buy. The moment you close above that 55th of the day, we're just going to buy. Because they might be buying in order to then reverse and sell on the turn of the hour. We don't quite know. But the fact that those deltas are there means that we've attracted a little bit of institutional interest. They're not trading 10 contract blocks, guys, or 12s or 14s. They might be on maybe 2s or 3s, and they're just easing into the market to see what they can get out of it. Now, a couple of key points as we come into the turn of the hour. Obviously, sellers own the stair steps, so buying base reversals. We've said that many times today. If the buyers were to push up, guys, and touch this point here, the buyers will have restolen the step, so therefore we're looking for selling base reversals. At this stage, the DAX, guys, over the last couple of weeks has been setting up the turn of the hour trade, guys, around about quarter past the new hour. So if you're used to just literally trading the turn of the hour on the hour, it may not necessarily occur. It looks like, guys, we've changed the way the FDAX moves, certainly for the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's been starting to turn at the 35-minute mark and also the 15-minute mark of the second hour. All right, so interesting. For those that are saying, well, hey, Lockie, did it do it today? Note that this little static bar reversal, guys, and this sell down occurred at the 35-minute mark. So the FDAX has changed the way that it moves, and at the moment it's reversing on the 35 candle, which is this one here. This is now setting us up for a turn of the hour trade, maybe 10 or 15 minutes into the new hour. All right, so these guys do occasionally change the way that they move, and that's okay. That's okay. Because we do it every day, we can get very, very used to what they're doing, and it's not a surprise when they do it. Okay, not a surprise when they do it. Okay, now with all of that said, let's just get ready for the turn of the hour. Was any questions at all? Just a reminder, you've got your Samurai members, you've got your master classes coming up in October, guys. So September starts. I can't believe September starts on Monday. I believe it's Monday. Certainly not far away. Yep, it starts on Monday here in Japan. So, guys, we're already into September. I cannot believe that. Diane, at this stage, we're going to be doing them. We're going to be doing them on a Thursday after TTP, and it's probably going to be the second and third Thursday because the first Thursday is the Platinum Preparation webinar. Yeah, so we're going to do a couple of master classes, guys, just to bring everybody up to speed with the enhancements to the indicators, how to use them to basically make as much money as you possibly can. Yeah, that's the goal. It's the goal. So Dan, yeah, we're gunning for October. The reason being is there's a couple more indicator fine tunes coming out shortly, and I'm also working on getting the majority of the 101 out in September, so the upgraded 101. And then we will be set for October and November's platinum. I cannot believe we're already talking about that. And then it's back to reality, back to reality again. So for those guys, that are watching the FTAX, guys, it is a 100% valid ratio-based static bar reversal long. So again, Suzanne, it's all about ratios. Now, we don't trade the last 15 minutes. Even though we don't trade the last 15 minutes, there's institutional orders that have come into the market and they're pushing the market up perfectly. All right. So if you're a ratio-based trader, you should be sitting at a very high strike rate today, which is very, very good. As we roll into the turn, guys, we cannot short the NASDAQ if the S&P is on the wrong side of yesterday's high. Yes, Diane, you can use the OSR as a pivot, 100% correct. And that's because lots of people around the world do. And the proof that you have that they do that is the market turns off it. Now, today, the market is turning off, Diane, the green 50 fib. So we're turning off the green 50 fib. We also turned at the top, guys, as we've spoken before, we turned off the 76.8 to the tick. Now, Diane, and for the FTAX traders, we knew that they were going to turn off the green Fibonacci's because they set up a 4-hour chart trade. So that's why when we get ready for the session, we go through the daily, primarily the 1440, the 240, 60, 30, 15. We find out what trade they're setting up because normally they go straight to the Fibonacci of their favorite trade. Today it was a 4-hour chart trade. What do they do? Go straight to the 4-hour chart fib. It means that they're very, very predictable, guys, and very easy to trade. So if you use the same process, guys, the same process every day, these guys and girls become pretty predictable. There's no doubt about that. Okay, so 2 minutes, guys, 2 minutes into the hour turns. At this stage, we are looking for, if we're going to go short on the NASDAQ, guys, we need the S&P underneath yesterday's high. Okay, not on top of it. In fact, I'll tell you what the S&P is doing. The S&P is going to try and push for a record high. Okay, so the all-time high is on the S&P 500 is that blue daily Fibonacci extension we spoke about in previous webinars. Can everybody see this daily extension here? Okay, that one right there. So it literally picked the top of the market almost perfectly. Okay, they went about 2 ticks beyond this Fibonacci, so that's not too bad. If we get a strong close, guys, on the S&P 500, then ideally they're going to try and push up to this blue fib. Scotty Parker, 11, 11, 21, 31, NQ. Well done, mate. Fantastic. You're on the static bar reversal. You're on that static bar reversal long. How come I didn't see that? That is really annoying. I didn't see that. That is not fair. I was over on the FTAX making sure that everyone's ready to see what Europe's going to do. It's my fault. Yeah, Dan, in the last 15 minutes, guys, I tend to shy away from identifying trades and basically work on making sure everybody's ready for the turn of the hour. Now, for the turn of the hour, for the FTAX traders, the buyers have literally just stolen the stair step. So we're looking for selling-based reversals. For the NASDAQ, I can't send you short, guys, unless the sellers push up, fail badly on the S&P and come back the other way. For the FTAX traders, the buyers own the stair step, okay, for the first time in about an hour. So again, if they push up, guys, what I would love to see, on the FDAX is a push up, guys, through the pre-top or to the pre-top. Okay, and then you'd be looking for a short underneath the pre-top for a 5-point target. For the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq has gone up, guys. Failed at the 78.6 Fibonacci's absolutely perfectly. I was talking about not going short because the S&P's on the wrong side of a pivot. The S&P's actually set up a reversal short. So F that. If you guys are short, guys, they've pushed up to the pre-top. You might have picked up the FDAX short at 201 or 200. Guys, if you are short, then please try and hold the short, but understand your first target is 5 points and you're already through your first target. Well done, Jiz. So Jiz has picked up this delta here, guys, on FDAX. Well done. If you picked up the delta, wait for the bias to still the stair step, take the delta. You're in a really good place. So well done. For the S&P 500, you set up a static bar reversal short on the turn of the hour. Key point is we can't go short until you guys get back under yesterday's high. Nasdaq has pushed up, guys, failed at the purple Fibonacci, which it failed at before. Okay, now actually that reminds me, we did actually pick up, guys, that little delta there. We picked that one up. I can't send you short on the Nasdaq, guys, until I have permission from the S&P 500, and I'm not going to get that for a little bit. Do I have any FDAX traders who are short, guys, on the turn of the hour for longer range targets? Guys, anybody short for longer range targets? The reason I say that is into the turn of the hour, the FESX has actually gone climactic. So the FDAX traders should be able to pull out at least a 15 to 20 point trade. Right, at least 15 to 20. Now, mind you, everybody's controlled their risk on the FDAX. You've got no money at risk, and it's literally just money for jam. If you did get skipped, guys, that's okay. We're now looking for a higher high and a refailure, or you're looking for a red diamond delta short. Diane, you do have that red diamond, the higher red diamond in that little circle there. If you were to go short on that one at 185, your target is 180. Okay. If you were to go short at 185, your target is 180. Now, that being said, that delta has already been paid inside the new hour once. My ATM keeps getting tripped, Jiz, at +5. Okay, we'll have to play with your ATM, mate. That's easy to do. And at this stage, guys, if we were to close like this in 2 minutes on the FESX, it is a ratio-based static bar reversal short. Okay, they're probably going to push back down to their upper OSR as a minimum. Okay, I'd suggest the FESX will also be keeping an eye on the S&P 500. All right, so S&P, just watch what they're doing here. To send you guys short on the S&P, we must close below yesterday's high and hold below yesterday's high. Okay, we can't do anything but that. For the FDAX traders who are looking for a pre-top reversal, guys, you're looking for a higher high, so you need these guys to push up above this point here, fail again, and look for a re-entry. You don't want to enter in the last 90 seconds. Okay, so you don't want to enter in the last 90 seconds. It's all about the FESX. Guys, let's just see what they do. FESX would normally... normally push to the 150 fib extension here of the OSR. Just have a look at the Nasdaq, guys. This is exactly why we weren't short on the Nasdaq. Exactly what's going on right now. +10. Okay, well done, Craig. Nice work. What we're looking for now. We can't go long on a climactic candle. There's over 1,100 contracts on this Nasdaq candle. As for the Nasdaq traders, I can't send you short unless the S&P 500 agrees. Okay, I can't send you short unless they agree. For the FDAX, you are about to. What's hiding behind there? Okay, it looks like the R1. All right, so we might have an FESX 150 extension and R1 reversal. We might have that coming through. For the FTX traders, guys, if we close over the pre-top, which we've just done, we can't go short under the pre-top. Buyers own the stair step. There's no question about that. What does it ultimately mean? I can't send you short on the FDAX. The only thing I can do for the DAX traders is if we push up to the R1, we're looking for a short underneath the R1, but we obviously haven't met the conditions of that trade just yet. As the S&P 500 at this point in time is likely to buy off yesterday's high. So the next trade for the S&P 500 will be a short, guys, off the R1, which means NASDAQ traders, I can't send you short. I can only send you long. I don't have a valid trade at this point in time. So now we've got to be very careful. I've got to be very, very careful. Okay, so here's the S&P. I'm very, very glad, guys and girls, we're not short on the NASDAQ. All right, we're not selling the NASDAQ because we're not allowed to. I'll find the link to the hub meeting tonight, please. Craig, on the front of the Samurai website, if you go front of the Samurai website, there's two windows. The right-hand window, about 1/3 of the way down the website, says join us for the monthly global hub meeting. Click on that and it will allow you to register there. That is where I would find it. That makes it easier for me at this stage. Now, perfect. Okay, great. Now for the FTX traders, we are going to pick up a 76 fib reversal. So we will pick up a 76 fib reversal. It's going to look like this. So if the buyers were to push any higher, guys, if the buyers push any higher on the FTX and get hit, we're looking for a 76 fib reversal just here. Guys, maybe 2 to 3 points below that is fine. I would love the buyers to push above that level. And then we sell into them. If the FESX, guys, closes above this pivot, if we close above that pivot there, guys, then the short on FTX is not very good. If this candle was to close like it was right now, guys, on the FTX in 2 minutes and 41 seconds, it will be a ratio-based static bar reversal short. If the FESX is underneath that pivot when that occurs, guys, that trade is going to rocket on the FTX, as in rocket to the downside. I think they're probably getting ready to do that already. Well, you can see this big gap here. The FTX doesn't like gaps. It doesn't like it. So what's going to happen is all the people that are buying the market have currently got their stop losses at 207. Those stop losses are about to get hit. There'll be a bunch of sell orders. The moment they get hit, these guys are going to go back inside the pre-top, giving us a really nice opportunity to resell the pre-top in 2 minutes' time. Oh, look at that. Those stop losses, guys, those traders that went long on that candle just got annihilated. I would suggest it's algorithmic traders. The moment we closed above the pre-top, they tried to buy the market. Jizz, I wish the FTX was listening. I wish it was listening. But eventually, Jizz, we will be big enough to have an FTX-only trading room. Right? So all the FTX traders will get together and literally just, again, maybe set a KPI for the LTR of 50 to 60 points per day. So what's that? Around 50 points, 2,000 to 2,500 Aussie dollars per contract per day. So we'll set that as the benchmark for the live trading room. And then we'll split the American markets out so everybody can focus on it. Suzanne, it take a lot of work to get there, but ultimately that would be incredible if we could split everybody out, guys, because the NASDAQ traders will ultimately make more money, the FTX traders will make more money, the S&P traders will make more money. That would be incredible, because it's all about making money, and again, that's always good fun. Now, for the Nazi traders, I'm still waiting for permission to trade. I'm very glad we're not short on the NASDAQ, guys. We don't have permission to go short. And guess what? There is no short setting up at all. Now, for the FTXs, guys, you are setting up, as we discussed, a ratio-based static bar reversal short. We're looking for the FESX to close inside its pivot and 150. Okay, inside the pivot and 150. At this stage, these guys have got to close inside the pre-top, which they're about to do. If they do buy a little bit on FTX, guys, you can pity back off this delta short here, okay, at 199. Right now, if you're going to go short on the FTX at 199, your first target is 194. You're on target at 194 already, guys. If you got filled at 199, if you're on the static bar reversal, you're looking for the sellers to go a little bit further. Okay, so if you are on the SBR, guys, if you are on the SBR, worst case 196, you're looking for a touch of 191. That red diamond delta, guys, I wouldn't trade it as a brand new signal. Anyone that's taken the SBR short on FTX, guys, at 196, you threw your target at 191. As that's a lot of winning trades for the FTX today. You wonder why? You wonder why I want to split the FTX into its own room. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. So anyway, so what does it mean for the FTX traders? If you are short just on that SBR, forget the delta over here on the left-hand side. If you're short on that one, guys, you've gone straight through your targets again. All right, straight through your targets again. Now, for the NASDAQ, guys, I have got a problem with the NASDAQ, and the problem is at the moment we've got the S&P 500 on the wrong side of yesterday's high. So I cannot sell the NASDAQ until the S&P 500 gives us permission to trade. As we don't have permission to trade, so at the moment, we're kind of caught in irons because we need the NASDAQ to make up its mind. Right? So at the moment, it doesn't know what it's doing, which is okay. Excuse me. And so, guys, at this stage, I can't send you short. Can't send you long. I can't send you long on the NASDAQ because the S&P is into two pivots. I can't send you short because the S&P is into a pivot. All right, so at the moment, guys, NASDAQ traders, you've only had one or two trades today. They've all gone where they need to go. Okay, they've all gone where they need to go. We just need to be very, very careful trying to trade the NASDAQ, guys, while the S&P 500 is navigating through pivots. Now, for the Nazi traders, oops, hang on, just got rid of that box. Now, the best trade of the day, guys, for the Nazi traders was the double failure off the 76 fibs at the start. That delta was the backup trade, which, again, was fine. That delta there, guys, at the bottom of that candle, we picked that up for the NASDAQ traders as well. Only going for a 10-tick target. It looks like it's gone around 20. I missed this static bar reversal long, which a number of you did get. That actually resulted in this candle here, and that's actually resulted in this little rocket to the high side. And right now, guys, we can't do anything on the NASDAQ until we get permission from the S&P. Okay. MJ, you got plus 10. Jürgen, head off KPI reached with 65 ticks. Mate, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And guys, don't forget the hub meeting is on tonight. We're going to be doing 60-minute chart trading and an update on everything that's going on. And we will reflect on what we did in the live trading room tonight. So again, if you've got time for that, guys, if you've got time for that, it will be recorded. It will be put in the members area. So we are going to do that, guys, 30 minutes after we finish tonight. Okay. Now let's have a look. FDAX at this stage, you guys have had a lot of trades today. Every one of them has gone where we want them to, which is exciting. The flip side of that, we kind of got disabled early on by the sellers stealing the stair step, but it did result in a static bar reversal long that went really, really well. And obviously you picked up your climactic reversal, and I'm profitable, guys, across all accounts. Not massively profitable. I was running this LTR today is pretty complex, particularly with new technology. So the fact that we've done that, we're profitable, I'm profitable, and now we're waiting for the next trade, I think is not a bad achievement. Craig, all good, mate? So guys, if you're having dinner before the hub, now's a great time to do that. We're probably going to get one more trade. It's probably going to get one more trade, and then we will, depending on what the S&P 500 does, so we might get one more trade. If the NASDAQ, guys, if the NASDAQ just keeps grinding here, so if they just keep grinding, they're going to come up to these levels here. Guys, but I note on the S&P, we've got a disagreement. The S&P 500 is already at the top of its purple fib. The NASDAQ is not at the top of its purple fib. Okay, so on the 60-minute chart, the S&P 500 is actually trying to trade outside the range of that dominant candle. So the NASDAQ is not. Now, speaking of that, the NASDAQ, guys, has just set up a static bar reversal off yesterday's high. What I would prefer is a double touch reversal, as in the buyers push it back up, get near yesterday's high, and then we sell. Let me just double check. We're not. Yeah, no, we're setting up a short here on NASDAQ. There's no question about that. So if you want to be very careful on NASDAQ, guys, it's been quite a difficult day on NASDAQ. If you want to be very careful, okay, we're going to do a Fibonacci over the turning candle. We're looking for a structured retrace and a very heavy rejection. As if you're quite good at what you do, guys, you can put a short underneath that blue Fibonacci there, so that blue daily Fibonacci. So you're sure to be sitting around about the 647.50 mark. Okay, you would be looking for a 10-tick risk control point, right? 10-tick risk control point and long-range targets. Okay, so again, if you are slightly skilled as at what you do, you're going to reverse off that daily Fibonacci after the buyers are pushed and failed. Now, most important point, that is your entry. That is your risk control point. So let's just see what they do. So I'm not saying go for a 10-tick target, guys. What I'm doing is saying control your risk at touch 9. And then if they do run hard, then we're going to go for a 20, a 30, a 40, a 50. Whatever the S&P 500 does, the NASDAQ is going to go out in sympathy here. So at this stage, no one is filled on the short. No one is filled on the short. We're waiting for these buyers to push up. We want them to run out of steam. Now, guys, you can control your risk however you choose to. But today, if you control your risk on the NASDAQ at the 10-tick mark, you've been successful on every trade. Right, now, doesn't matter if you go for a 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-tick target, whatever you want to go for. Volatility at the moment says a 50-tick target should be relatively easy to get. Okay, at the moment, the buyers are still trying to wander in. That's okay. We're looking for them to wander in and get absolutely walloped. All right, now that wallop normally comes at these 76 fibs here. Right now, I'm just watching for the walloping. It obviously hasn't come yet. That's the wallop right there. So if you're a relatively experienced trader, guys, this is a daily 76 reversal. Now it's solely based on the fact that the S&P 500 looks like it's failed badly. Now at this point in time, the short, guys, at 647.50 has not been filled yet. Okay, has not been filled. So let's just watch what they're doing. Okay, you're about to get engaged. Guys, no, still not filled. Still not filled. All right, so see they're pushed up, guys, and they got absolutely walloped twice. Normally they'll get walloped 3 times. Okay, it's probably going to come relatively late in the candle as the S&P decides whether it wants to buy or sell. Okay, now, guys, you can go for whatever target you want. Guys, I strongly recommend you would control your risk relatively quickly and try and let the profit run. If the candle was to close like that in 48 seconds, it's a ratio-based static bar reversal short with agreement from the S&P 500. The flip side of the agreement from the S&P is if the S&P 500 closes over this previous daily high at the close of this candle, if it closes over or gaps over, we're not going short, guys, and we still have not had the short filled. All right, so at this stage, we've got, just watch the S&P close. Guys, we need that S&P to close and hold under that purple fib. Okay, at this stage, 2 seconds to go. We've held under and stayed under. All right, so the short, guys, is a reasonable short. That's a reasonable short at 647.50. Now, I still have not had my order touched, guys, on that trade. For the FTX, guys, your volume is starting to drop down a little bit. At the moment, you've got a seller-owned stair step. You've got a big selling candle back into the OSR, so we're not going to go short on FTX. Guys, what we are going to do, if you need another trade, is we're going to wait for the sellers to sell down on the FTX, get well below the OSR. You're about to get engaged on NASDAQ. As we would need to sell down here, on the NASDAQ, the FTX. As we would need to sell down here. Sellers still the stair step. FTX, NASDAQ, I dare you to bolt at this point in time. So for the FTX, we need to get below this point. Guys, I think we're going to get to the end of the LTR before we pick up another FTX trade. At this point in time, guys, we've had a very, very successful FTX trading day. Right? There's no question about that at all. Now, for the NASDAQ, we've had one decent sell push. We normally get 3. Okay, this could be the second sell push coming now. Okay, let me just have a look. What are they doing? All right, they're mucking around that daily fib. There's no counter Fibonacci issue here. So I need a second or third quite powerful push on the NASDAQ. All right, they're keeping an eye on. So what have we got here? 3. Right, I'm only going to give them, guys, around about 45 seconds on NASDAQ to really start to show us their colors. Now, this trade, guys, is only for those people that trade off daily Fibonacci's. All right, now it looks like the S&P is trying to turn. There's no question about that. If I get a third seller push down here, on the NASDAQ, right, and they don't start pushing down towards our risk control point, let me just see what they're doing. We would need to be careful on this NASDAQ trade. Now, let me just check 15-minute chart. Okay. These guys should mathematically go down. Okay, mathematically they should go down. There's no question. So let's just see what they do. As the S&P 500, again, has made the NASDAQ very difficult to trade today. I reckon FTX at this point in time, you've had, let's say, 5 or 6 really easy trades. I don't think you guys need any more trades, personally. Again, there's this wonderful thing, guys, called over trading, where you just keep pushing the button, and that is not what we do. So if you have traded the FTX well today, guys, grab your money and run. For the NASDAQ, we're looking for a push here, heading off early. We're going to catch you recording. Okay, mate, well done. Ron, you've done 32 ticks today. You've done very, very well, mate. Okay, you've done very, very well. Okay, nope. NASDAQ is going to go the wrong way, guys. So again, for those that trade under that daily Fibonacci, that is going to be a negative trade. All right, that's going to be a negative trade. If you're looking at the NASDAQ, guys, wondering why is the NASDAQ so difficult to trade today, guys, it's because the S&P 500 is gunning towards its record high. Now, what does it mean? It means that any buy signal, like the one I missed here, is going to go a long way, and the sell signals are going to struggle. Mind you, we've traded the trading plan perfectly. The original sell signals over here went very, very well, and we've just had a negative on the NASDAQ if you're short underneath that blue Fibonacci. FTX, I don't think we're going to take any more trades at this stage. And for the NASDAQ traders, we are now waiting for the market to reset, and then we're looking for another trade. Absolutely correct. So, guys, the NASDAQ has literally now decided it wants to reverse. What does it ultimately mean? As I don't think it's wise. I don't think it's wise to take another selling trade on the Nasdaq until we have clear guidance from the S&P 500 as to what it's doing. FDAX, you are definitely done for the day. There is no question. That climactic candle, guys, that climactic candle here on the Nasdaq would suggest they blew up a huge amount of volume trying to buy the market through yesterday's high, and that has definitely failed. That has definitely failed. If the S&P was to close a strong selling candle, guys, in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, we're likely to go down. If it doesn't, we're likely to go up. And this is what has made the NASDAQ a little bit technical to trade today. Now, for those that traded early on, guys, the climactic reversal, the delta over here, or the double touch reversal, those that walked away with 50 or 60 ticks of profit really early on, guys have done very, very well. As those that have hung around, we might have actually just had a negative trade. And this brings up a really good point about once you get to your daily KPI, guys, be it 20, 30, 40 ticks, whatever it is, really good idea to take the money, run away, come back tomorrow, we'll do the same thing again. Now, Daxi, as I said, guys, you guys have had an absolute blinder today. That has been mechanically very, very easy to trade. It's very easy. So I would suggest at this stage, you guys keep your powder dry until tomorrow, and as under the watchful eye of Cody, and we will probably have a blinder again tomorrow. There's no question about that. All right, now at this stage, guys, S&P well over KPIs. That's fantastic. S&P, guys, could set up a 4-point turning bar short here. As if it does, again, Europe has decided it's going to actually sell the market down. So you can see Europe now starting to threaten over here. If I needed another FDAX trade, which I don't think we do, I would wait for this current candle to close underneath the lower OSR. If the FESX closes inside its upper OSR, just here, then I would be targeting that delta right there, not now. Not now. In 2 minutes and 33 seconds, I'd be selling short at 150 with a first target of 145. Awesome. So, guys, if you're coming to the hub meeting tonight, it's going to start 30 minutes after we finish here with young Arlen and TTP. Speaking of that, I am going to... Now, this might be a bit technical. I'm going to try and turn my camera on. Now, is that coming through into the... Is that actually... Oh, it is. It is. Okay. Now, the camera could be... Oh, that's a very cool graphic, that one. So, guys, the camera might be a little bit blurry. We will do some work on that. Okay, now these sellers are very strong, guys. Very, very strong on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So, young Arlen, we've had a blinder on the FDAX. So, if the FDAX traders have walked away with, let's say, between 3 and 7 trades, and every one of them has gone to target. Now, that's very typical for the FDAX. NASDAQ, we've had 3 really good trades, and then we might have had a loss at the end. If for those people that trade under the blue fib, for those people that wait for pivots, they've had a perfect run all day. And S&P's had a perfect run. So we've had a good session. And that's me. Oh, I can't hear you. But that's all right. Hang on, we'll fix it. Now, guys and girls, you might be able to hear, if you can hear Arlen and I can't hear Arlen, then please say you can hear Arlen, because I should be able to hear. All right. Now, again, as what we're doing at this point in time, I don't think we're going to get any more trades. FDAX, you know about that delta short at 150 if we close under. All right, you know about that. And guys, we've had an okay day, except if anyone had a negative right at the end on the NASDAQ, I would suggest you're about to get a really big reversal bar, and you'll probably be able to go and get it all back, which is exactly what we do. Awesome. Guys, any questions at all? Okay, Okay, so Diane's saying can't hear Arlen, but that's okay. That's all right. Well, we're first day of a new technology. Nice first day of new technology. So I think that's actually gone okay. Now I can't hear Arlen, but that might be just me. Guys, can you hear Arlen? Okay, lots of love. Arlen saying lots of love. I think she said Lachlan's a legend. I think she said that. Oh dear. Yeah, no, Rog. All right, guys and girls, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run. I've got to get ready for the hub meeting tonight. So we've done okay today, guys. FTAX traders, absolute walk in the park. Arlen, thank you to TTP. Thank you to Arlen, and I'll reach out after the hub meeting tonight. How about that? I think that'll be a. I think that'll be yes. That's a green light. Okay, Arlen, if you can turn us off, I'll go and get ready to rock and roll. Perfect.